Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Amy Weinstein.
Temperatures are on the warm side today as we climb to a mild 4 degrees. The warm weather won't last long though. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Today started off at a brisk -5, but we are expecting a high of 4 degrees by the end of the afternoon. It will continue to cool down tomorrow with a low of -8 and a high of only 1 degree. There will be sunshine on Saturday, but with a low of -14 and a high of only -7. The wintry weather will continue on Sunday, where we will see flurries and a high of only -4. It will warm up a bit on Monday with mostly sunny skies and highs just around the freezing mark. So enjoy the above average temperatures, but don't pack up your parka quite yet. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Amy. The week-long violence in Homs continues as Syrian forces are killing hundreds of citizens. The opposition says the army is firing rockets and mortars into the residential areas of the country's third-largest city. The Arab League and the United Nations are in discussions to send observers into the torn nation. The UN has estimated more than 5,400 people have been killed since protests began last March. UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon says President Assad has lost the claim to speak for his people and fears the assault in Homs is a sign of worse things to come.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper's trade mission to China may be paving the way for free trade talks between the two countries. Both Canada and China have said they will complete a joint economic study by May and are looking to explore further trade options. Harper says moving the economic relationship to the next level would greatly expand Canadian growth and job creation. Trade Minister Ed Fast would not confirm that any sort of free trade deal was in the works. Fast says that Canada is taking things one step at a time.
A recent survey suggests Canadians want help from China to bolster the economy, but are wary of the sleeping dragon getting too much control over Canadian businesses. The poll states 51% of Canucks are welcoming the Chinese investment. However, 71% feel Chinese corporations taking controlling interest in Canadian companies will impact negatively for Canadian interests. Chinese investment in Canada is currently $14.1 billion, most of it in natural resources. The survey polled over 1,000 Canadians over 3 days this past week.
Apple stores are seeing protests from consumers today over the working conditions in the company's Chinese factories. The website change.org has developed a petition with over 200,000 signatures calling for Apple to create a worker protection strategy. The New York Times recently ran an expose on the explosion at a Foxconn plant in China, one of Apple's key suppliers. Workers there say they may make only $1 per hour. The iPhone protests are expected to take place in about a half-dozen cities around the world, including London, San Francisco, and New York. An Apple spokesperson says the company ensures there are safe working conditions in every plant in its worldwide supply chain.
And now with your sports news, here's Thomas Surska.
The Humber Hawks men's and women's volleyball teams scored big wins last night against the Mohawk Mountaineers. The men's team won in 4 sets, while the women won in 3 straight sets, en route to their 16th win in 16 tries this season. Women's assistant coach Dean Wiley says third-year middle Kelly Nyhoff had a great game.
Last night I think Kelly had a really nice game. She's playing really well, and she's going to be key to our success for the rest of the season. You know, we've got 2 home games left, plus playoffs coming up in Barrie.
In NBA action last night, the Raptors dropped to 8-19 on the season with a 105-99 loss at home to the Bucks. Former Raptor Carlos Delfino led the Bucks with a team-high 25 points and 4 steals. DeMar DeRozan scored 25 for the Raptors. Toronto continues its season-high 7-game homestand Friday night against the Boston Celtics. There were 4 games in the NHL last night, 2 of them involving Canadian teams. Edmonton Oilers forward Sam Gagner lit the lamp twice in a losing effort as the Oilers lost 4-2 in Detroit. Gagner now has 6 goals in his last 4 games after tallying just 7 in his first 43. The win made it 18 straight at home for the Wings. In San Jose, Olli Jokinen scored a hat-trick and added an assist as the Flames beat the Sharks 4-3. Mika Kiprasov picked up his 300th career victory against his former team. In Buffalo, the Sabres shut out the Bruins 6-0 in a fight-filled affair. The teams combined for 90 penalty minutes in Ryan Miller's first game against Boston since he was concussed by a controversial Milan Lucic hit. And Corey Perry scored the game winner midway through OT as the Ducks topped the Canes 3-2. The Ducks now play their next 8 games on the road as they try to climb back into the NHL's playoff picture. In other NHL news, the league held a news conference this morning to officially announce what hockey fans have known for a while. The Detroit Red Wings and Toronto Maple Leafs will play in the annual Winter Classic on January 1st next year at the 100,000-seat Michigan Stadium. In golf, the PGA season officially gets going today with the Pebble Beach Pro-Am in California. Tiger Woods is paired with Dallas Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo, but Canadian golf fans will have 3 homegrown players to cheer on this weekend. Graham Dillette and Matt McQuillan will be in the field, along with 2003 Masters champion Mike Weir, who has dropped to 1,033rd on the PGA rankings. And in a mix of sports and, well, weird, the auction for Jose Reyes' hair has been closed and a winning bid announced. Major League Baseball announced late yesterday that Reyes' locks fetched $10,200. He was required to have his hair cut in accordance with the Miami Marlins club policy. The money will benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Southern Florida. That's your sports news for today. I'm Thomas Surska.
Thanks, Thomas. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Philip Maciel.
Fan favorite TV show House comes to an end. Not 1, but 2 Jersey Shore spin-offs, and a popular Harry Potter-inspired play hits Toronto this weekend. More in entertainment after the break.